Breaking Bridget.
So Gavin Newsom was at the debate. That slimy. You all know how we feel about Gavin Newsom on this show. If you're old school watchers, if you're a new school watcher, we're not fans of the man who destroyed California. Kamala has also a California politician who's failed up. And I will lose my ever-loving mind if they swap in slick, slimy Newsom at the last minute and make him our freaking Democratic candidate, not the global hour. And Bill Maher, you also piece of work whose show I would definitely go on if he asked me. He came out in support of this idea that Newsom should take the top of the ticket. I'm like, your state is in flames. I was talking to a friend in the DMs the other day, and she was talking about how all her friends are talking about how their homeowners insurance is getting canceled because all the houses are burning down because there's no accountability for any of the electricity companies who are basically operate like oligarchs. There's no water because they can't figure out how to save water, even though they've had some rainy winters.
And Kamala's no longer there to keep like low-level offenders in prison to be free firefighting labor.
Kamala can no longer get her $2 firefighters from prison. Nothing makes me more crazy than the exportation of California's bad policies and ideas to the rest of the country, like the independent contractor one, which we've covered, which, good news, some of those Supreme Court rulings are going to make it easier to sue for those stupid independent contractor rules. Side note, we all know that it doesn't matter who they put in, because if you're a Democrat and you're terrified of Trump, which granted, I understand, you're going to vote for whomever they put in the race. You're going to vote for anyone who's a Democrat, in spite of the fact that they're pro-sterilizing and mutilating children. They can do all kinds of things like ban independent contractors and make your life miserable because bitches love abortions. It's really what it comes down to. That's what they're going to run on. They put out this crazy video that was like, the Republicans are coming for your contraception. And a guy had to like give his name and address or whatever and talk about fill out a survey for a condom.
And it was going to be like, was it heterosexual sex?
It was roundly mocked by everybody.
You need an ID to buy condoms now?
It's a new legislation passed by Republicans in Congress after they voted against the Right to Contraception Act.
Get out of here.
I don't make the rules. Will these be used with a spouse?
No.
Are you in a committed monogamous relationship?
We haven't really had the talk yet.
Is this heterosexual copulation?
Yes.
And yes, have they rolled back Roe v. Wade? They did. They kicked it to the states. We can have a discussion about whether that's the way it should have been or not all day long. That's not the point of this. The point of this is a lot of people are single issue voters on this matter in general. This was something I learned post 2022 when by the way, I'm wrong about everything. So please don't listen to me because I was wrong about, I thought Trump for sure was going to win 2020. And I thought for sure there would be a red wave. I was on Rogan when he said the red wave was going to be like The Shining. And then there wasn't because Roe v. Wade was overturned. And then all the bitches who love abortions came out and they were like, I need to be able to have an abortion. The funny, weird thing too about this is that the constituency of women, when you look at the numbers who are, this is their one issue, they can't even have children anymore. This is your single issue and you can't even have an abortion because you can't even have children anymore. I mean, I get it. It's a women's health issue. I still think the Democrats are going to win. I still think Biden's probably going to win, believe it or not, although that could all change. But it's not going to matter. Again, the only people that it matters for are independents. Anyone who's already voting Democrat automatically for this issue, they're not going to have their mind changed by anyone that you swap in. No one who's going to vote for a corpse who can't speak is going to not vote for Gavin Newsom. They're going to rally behind whoever they put in there. And you're going to be racist if you don't like Kamala, or you're going to be sexist if you don't like Kamala. These think pieces are already coming out, by the way. Or Gavin Newsom's just going to be, look at what he did for California, even while 250,000 people a year flee with U-Hauls. And the ongoing meme is that he's like the employee of the month at freaking U-Haul. And I don't think that states who are resentful at all of the Californians invading their states and driving up housing prices and just being the general assholes that Californians can be, I probably should include myself in that. Although I'm not a rich Californian. I was like a working class Californian. There's two different kinds of Californians. So I don't think they're going to be stoked about the concept of a Newsom presidency. But I swear I moved my whole family, my child, away from their grandparents to get away from Gavin Newsom. And I understand there's probably a real possibility that he runs in 2028. But I will be radicalized. I will put on a MAGA hat. I will be out there knocking on doors, talking about how horrible this man will be for America if he is the nominee.
If you can appreciate my point of view, that it's very unhelpful, and it's exactly the question and answer that the Republican Party right now wants us to have.
We cannot let this stand. Independents. I cannot imagine independents can't see through this guy. He's so slimy. That will break me. They're going to do it. They're going to fucking do it. I know if it does end up that Biden can't somehow be the nominee, they're already throwing Kamala under the bus. I already see it. I'm like, do you see that, Kamala? That's the bus that's coming for you. Because now suddenly the press is like, well, Kamala lied to us. Here's a video of Kamala out there. She's talking about how he was fine. Kamala has some questions to answer too. This whole scandal is going to go down. And it's going to end up with both of them out, and they're going to swap in slick Newsy. I mean, it will be fun because Trump versus Newsom, it would be kind of funny. But I think it will radicalize me officially. I'll be like, I'm voting for Trump. The only thing that keeps Dumpster Fire going is you subscribing to Phetasy.com. So come join us in the community. By the way, we're raising our rates because I want to make more stuff, and we're making even more stuff behind the paywall, and I would like to take things up another notch. It's actually insane how much content we're putting out, so it's time. I'm telling you this because if you subscribe now, you will be grandfathered in at our very low rate of $50 a year. So get in there, subscribe, get grandfathered in with the rest of all the cool kids who have been following us forever, and support your favorite Not a News show. Are you worried you have an STD? We've all been there, right? Oh, no, maybe you haven't because you're not a slut like me, but I've been there. No one likes to think about STDs, but if you're sexually active, you should be getting routine STD and STI screenings to make sure you and your partner or partners, we know poly is a big thing now, we're not here to judge, are safe and healthy. Now you can skip the doctor and buy your own STD and STI test online with Quest. No doctor's visit required. Your results are delivered online, quickly and discreetly. STD testing with Quest keeps the results off of your insurance. You have the option to discuss them at no extra cost with an independent physician who may be able to prescribe treatment. For all the boomers in the retirement communities, get out there and get an STI screening. This stuff is rampant down there in these communities. So you might think just because you're old, this doesn't affect you. It does. So if you're like a boomer in a retirement community having the time of your life, God bless you. But also, you probably need to get an STI screening, and it's super easy. Visit questhealth.com and use the code DUMPSTER to get 25% off. That's questhealth.com and use the code DUMPSTER for 25% off. Link in the description below.